The Akatsuki is a pyramid scheme. I can prove it in under 5 minutes. And the man at the top of it never wore the cloak. If you have ever sat across from someone who had an opportunity for you, the person running that meeting was funneling money to someone who never had to make one. That person has a name the Naruto fandom knows. You've been wondering about his motivation for 20 years. Here's his real one. The first rule of pyramid recruitment: the product only sells to someone without alternatives. MLMs don't recruit the stable. They recruit the broken. The person who just lost their job, whose lease just ended, whose last thing didn't work out. Amway reps screen LinkedIn for open-to-work signals. Herbalife reps work gym parking lots. Ex-distributors have described it in lawsuits. They target people the world just hurt. Watch what the Akatsuki does. They don't approach loyal Leaf Shinobi. They don't recruit people with families to walk back to. Every member they find is a missing nin. Kill orders, burned affiliations, 6 days without sleep on a road with nowhere to go. The cloak is not a step down for them. It is the first solid ground in months. If you have ever been approached by an MLM rep, check the timing. That timing was not luck. You were identified at a moment you thought was invisible to everyone else. Before any pyramid asks for anything, it gives you something to hold. The starter kit, the product line, the title on the business card. It arrives before the ask, because the ask only works after the product has built belief. By the time you understand the structure, you already know what holding it felt like. That feeling is what you paid for. You just didn't know you were paying yet. The Akatsuki makes this visible. The first thing a recruit receives is a ring, cold ceramic, a specific finger. No mission attached, just the weight of being chosen. Someone made this for this hand, this position, this person. The ring is not a weapon, it is a purchase. And the recruit bought it before they knew there was a price. The product is never the product. The feeling the product gives you is. Every pyramid manufactures loyalty it cannot ask for directly. The structure needs people who won't leave, but you can't tell someone not to leave. That creates the question. Instead, you create a relationship so load-bearing that leaving means losing it. Two people who cannot operate without each other cannot defect separately. The loyalty the organization couldn't manufacture, the dependency produces naturally, for free. The Akatsuki calls this tactical pairing. Itachi and Kisame. Deidara and Sasori. Complementary abilities. Better together. True. Also not the reason. Watch what the pairing actually produces. Members who would die for each other, who have built something inside the structure they cannot carry out. The organization gets 2 soldiers for the price of 1 manufactured bond. Your sponsor in any MLM helps you genuinely, because your production is their production. That relationship is real. The architecture that created it was not. Every sustainable pyramid has a false floor. Just enough return to prevent mass defection before the next recruitment cycle completes. The difference between what participants produce and what they keep is what funds the levels above. The floor isn't generosity, it's load-bearing. It holds people in place long enough for them to recruit the next level. The Akatsuki is no different. Shelter, intelligence, resources that arrive when missions succeed. There are real moments where the structure gives back, enough that leaving looks unnecessary, enough that staying looks rational. The member isn't wrong that something is working. They just can't see what the something is funding. The structure isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Every pyramid needs someone near the top who looks like proof. The visible success story. The person with proximity to leadership. No visible quota. Apparent access to decisions. From the outside, they look like evidence that climbing far enough changes what you have. The ladder pays out if you go high enough. Watch Conan. No missions. No hunt. Constant proximity to pain. For a moment, she looks like the exception. The one who made it. Then watch what she actually controls. Nothing independently. No moves that exist outside her position beside him. The closer to the top, the fewer real options. That's not an exception to the pyramid. That's the pyramid at its most refined. Every pyramid runs on a mission that isn't wrong about the problem. The most effective ideologies are built from real grievances. Amway sells freedom, and financial freedom is real. The need for it is real. The people who wanted it badly enough to believe were not stupid. The mission works because the problem it describes actually exists. That's what makes the economic questions feel selfish to ask. The mission is bigger than the questions. Listen to Pain explain the cycles. The villages that burn for reasons that have nothing to do with the villages. The children who inherit wars they didn't start. His grief is not manufactured. The analysis is accurate. He was a boy from a country that didn't survive other people's politics, and he spent his life turning that wound into mathematics. The Akatsuki members who believed most completely were not deceived about the problem. They were given something true to believe in. That's what made the extraction possible. You were given something real to believe in. That's what made the rest of it possible. 3 FTC tests. Does the structure require recruitment to earn? Does it benefit founders disproportionately? Do participants at the bottom fund those at the top? You've just watched all 3. The top 1% of MLM distributors earn 88% of all commissions. Amway publishes what its distributors actually earn, their own disclosure. The average comes to $723 a year, before expenses, less than the starter kit cost to join. The person at the top of the Akatsuki never wore a ring, never wore a cloak, never stood in a room the members could see him in. Obito found Nagato the day Yahiko died. Genuine grief, real philosophy. A man who needed a structure to give that grief somewhere to go. Obito provided the structure. Nagato ran it until he died. Nagato believed in it until he died. Obito never recruited anyone else directly. He built one genuine believer at the top, and the structure ran itself on that belief all the way down. This is how every pyramid starts. Not with a liar. With one person willing to let someone else's real grief become the engine of something they built for themselves. You've been wondering about Obito's motivation for 20 years. It was 88%. You don't join a pyramid scheme. You get identified.